Hello everyone and welcome to Homeschooling with Hera. In today's video, we shall learn about categorizing sentences on the basis of their structure. This video is for parents, for teachers, and for students as well, who especially struggle when it comes to the length of sentences or the length of essays. So if you want to train your kids to write longer sentences, or if you are a student and is struggling with this problem that you cannot write longer sentences, this video is perfect for you. Watch it to the end and believe me, you will get something really worthy. So let's get started with categorizing sentences according to their structure. We can talk about sentences in different ways, right? But in today's video, we will talk about these four categories of sentences that are simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, and complex compound sentences, right? Most of us usually write simple sentences, which indicates that our writing standard is a bit low, as well as we struggle in reaching the target of 350 words or 400 words of essay, right? So what we can do, I'll tell you what is a simple sentence, but then we will learn compound, complex, and complex compound sentences as well. They all will help you to improve the standard of your writing as well as the length of your essay. Okay, so let's first check out what is a simple sentence. A simple sentence is nothing but a statement that carries some sense. It should begin with a capital letter and ends in some punctuation. It can be a full stop, it can be a question mark, and it can be an exclamation mark, right? So these three features are needed for a simple sentence: that it should begin with a capital letter, ends in a punctuation, and it must carry some sense. It must have some sense. If these three things are fulfilled, you are writing a simple sentence. For example, Ahmed is playing. You understand well what's been said, right? The teacher is teaching us. Simple sentence. It has a capital letter, a punctuation, and the sense is clear. Rhinoceros are herbivores. Okay? Burj Khalifa is the world's tallest tower. All these sentences are simple sentences because they are carrying some sense and they begin with a capital and end in the punctuation. You can see a plus sign here. This is nothing but to represent a simple sentence. When we will do some other types of sentences, so this plus sign will help us to identify a simple sentence or a complete sentence, right? So you will understand it later that why I am marking it with a plus. Now we have compound sentences. So what is a compound sentence? A compound sentence has two independent clauses joined with a coordinate conjunction. Now, if you don't know about what are clauses, we have a complete video that you can watch later, but just to make this concept clear, let me give you some insight about clauses. That clauses are group of words that usually have a subject and a verb, okay? And it also carries some sense. Sometimes a clause can stand as a complete sentence. Like we just saw, simple sentences, they were independent clauses. The thing that is written here, simple sentences are independent clauses because they have a subject, they have a verb, and they carry some sense. They can stand alone. We have another type of clauses that is called dependent clauses. In dependent clauses, we have a subject and a verb. These two things are there, mostly subject and verb are there, but a dependent clause cannot stand as a sentence. You will understand it better when we'll do the complex sentences. For now, just remember that independent clause is simply a complete sentence. It can stand alone. It mostly has a subject and a verb is necessary. Without a verb, we cannot make a sentence. Okay? So now look at this. How do we make compound sentences? We need to have two independent clauses joined with a coordinate conjunction. What is a coordinate conjunction? Coordinate conjunction is for and and, nor, but, or, yet, so. If you want to remember them with a mnemonic, so it's fanboys. F for, A for an, N for nor, B for but, O for or, Y for yet, and S for so. Fanboys. So now let's see how to make a compound sentence. We have got two sentences here. I was waiting for him. I is a subject. Was waiting is a verb. I was waiting for him. It is a complete sentence. It's giving us a sense. So I put a plus sign here. Remember the plus sign that I told you before? The second sentence is he didn't come. He is a subject. Didn't come is a verb. This is also a complete sentence. It's an independent clause, right? It can stand alone. Now, if we have two independent clauses, we can join them with a coordinate conjunction, and if we do so, we are making a compound sentence. Let's read it like this now. I was waiting for him, but he didn't come. Now I have joined these two independent sentences with a coordinating conjunction. But remember, when you are adding a conjunction here, you need to change the punctuation a bit. I was waiting for him. The full stop won't come here. I was waiting for him, but he didn't come. It's like this. Okay? The point to remember is that to make a compound sentence, you must have two independent clauses on either side. This is an independent clause or a complete sentence, and on the other side we also have an independent clause. It means that this is a complete sentence on its own. Hope it's clear. Let's see some other examples for compound sentences. Ria likes to walk down the road, but John wants to go by car. We have a subject and verb here. Subject, verb, subject, verb. On either side, the sentences are complete. They are giving proper sense. If even I remove this but and put a full stop, Ria likes to walk down the road. Finish. John wants to go by car. Finish. But we want to make it a compound sentence, so we will use but because these two statements are contradictory. Ria likes to walk, John wants to go by car. But will be the appropriate conjunction in this compound sentence. Okay? I write stories, yet I'm not confident enough to publish them. Yet is also used for showing contradiction in two statements, just like but. Okay? I was really tired, so I slept early. I was really tired, complete sentence. I slept early, another complete sentence joined with so. I can come with you or I can stay at home. I can come, subject plus verb. I can stay, subject plus verb. Independent sentences joined with or. Mike didn't finish his assignment, nor was he ready for test. When you are using nor, you need to use some negative statements on either side of it. Mike didn't finish his assignment, nor was he ready for the test. Okay, so this is how we use nor. Mr. Adam will take our test today and he will share the results on Monday. Mr. Adam subject, will take verb. He is subject, will share is verb. On either side of and, we have independent clauses. If you read the complete clause, it's a complete sentence joined with and. Bring your umbrellas for the picnic, for it may rain tomorrow. We use for in the sense of because. However, this is Old English, or you can say it's really formal to use for in place of because. Right? Hope this is clear, but I have a hint for you. In higher grades, you may find some punctuation marks that can be used for coordinate conjunctions, especially the semicolons. So we can replace and with a semicolon. If you want to learn more about this, I'll be sharing some blog post in the description box of the video. You can read them. Moving forward, I have again written these compound sentences, the same one, but here you will notice that I have separated independent clause with a comma. there is a comma before the conjunction. So this comma is perfectly fine, but this is just the way of writing in American English. In British English, people mostly don't use a comma before a coordinate conjunction, but in American English, it's almost a must, right? So you can write it if you are following the American style, or you can leave it if you are following the British style. The last thing that I want you to look at, that in compound sentences we have two plus sign here, right? These two plus signs indicates that we have a complete sentence here and we have a complete sentence here, and they both are joined by a coordinate conjunction to make a compound sentence. Now we have complex sentences, and let's check out what do they do, how they are made. Complex sentences have an independent, right, plus sign, and a dependent clause, a minus sign for this, connected by a subordinate conjunction. Subordinate conjunctions are written here. Some of them, there are other as well, but these are the most used in the primary classes at least, right? So you can just remember them with this mnemonic. I saw a verb. I for if, S for since, as, when, although, while, after, before, until, because. These are the common subordinate conjunctions. Now, what happened in complex sentences, that you must have an independent clause and a dependent clause. I told you earlier that I'll tell you that what are dependent clauses. So let's have a look at here. If I cover up this part of the sentence, you won't succeed. It's a simple statement. You won't succeed, right? It's an independent clause or a complete sentence. But if I cover this part of sentence, if you don't work hard, if you don't work hard. So is it a complete sentence? Is it giving you the complete sense of something? If you don't work hard, then what? The sense is not finished, right? It's not making sense. If you don't work hard, then what happened? We need to add something after this part of sentence to make it give some sense, isn't it? Right? So if your clause, it's a clause, you can see you is a subject, don't work is a verb. So clauses have subject and verb, but this clause is not giving the sense of the sentence. It's not an independent sentence. So it is our dependent clause. It is dependent on some other thing to give the complete sense. Now let's read it. If you don't work hard, you won't succeed. This independent clause has helped the dependent clause to give a complete sense, right? The best way to find the dependent clause is to go with the meaning of the sentence, or if you want to go with some hints, you can just look for the subordinate conjunction. Your dependent clause or subordinate clause begins with a subordinate conjunction. Just remember, I saw a verb, and there you go. So you won't succeed, complete, independent clause. If you don't work hard, subordinate clause. And we need a conjunction to join these two. Done. Let's see some other examples of complex sentences. I walk, subject and verb. I walk 40 minutes daily. It is giving a complete sense. It's an independent clause. Because it's good for my heart. Beginning with because, this is a dependent clause. If you don't work hard, the same thing, you won't succeed. If you don't work hard, dependent, you won't succeed, independent. You won't succeed if you don't work hard. I have written these two sentences again here to show you something else. What is that something else? Look at this part of sentence carefully. If you don't work hard, it means that if you are beginning with a dependent clause, you will give a comma before writing the independent clause, right? But if you are beginning with an independent clause, you won't succeed. You don't need a comma here before the dependent clause, right? Another example is he failed, subject plus verb, although he worked hard. This is the independent clause, although he worked hard, dependent clause. While I was wandering in the park yesterday, subordinate conjunction, it means subordinate clause or dependent clause. I found a gem on the pathway. I found a gem on the pathway. This is an independent clause. So all these sentences are complex sentences, right? Let's find out about complex compound sentences. Now here you can see we have both complex and compound together in this type of sentences. It means complex compound sentences. So we represent it with 2 plus means 2 independent clauses and 1 minus, that is a dependent clause. Now let's see how do we make complex compound sentences. Complex compound sentences have at least 2 independent and at least a dependent or subordinate clause, right? So complex compound sentence will have 2 independent clauses, means 2 simple sentences, and then a dependent clause or subordinate clause. For example, while I was sitting in the restaurant, what type of clause is it? Subject and verb is here. It means this is a clause, but it is beginning with a subordinate conjunction. And if you just go for the meaning of this part of sentence cannot stand alone as a sentence. While I was sitting in the restaurant, what does it mean? It means nothing. We need to add something to give a proper meaning to this part of sentence. So minus sign, okay, this is dependent clause. While I was sitting in the restaurant, I saw a beggar. I saw a beggar, complete sentence, plus, and I gave him food, another complete sentence, right? So again a plus sign will come here, and these 2 complete sentences or independent clauses are joined by a coordinate conjunction, right? So this is our complex compound sentence. Now let's quickly see some other examples of this, and here you are. Before anyone noticed her presence, she slid back and she disappeared. Subordinate clause, beginning with a subordinate conjunction. She slid back, subject, verb, a complete sentence, plus sign, and coordinate conjunction, right? She, again subject, disappeared, verb, complete sentence. Before anyone noticed her presence, she slid back and she disappeared. So minus, plus, plus, complex compound sentence. When I saw you yesterday, a comma is a must here if you are using the subordinate clause at the beginning. When I saw you yesterday, I waved at you, but you didn't notice me. Independent clause, and dependent clause, right? After we reached home from school, subordinate conjunction, dependent clause. We got an invite from our family friend. We got an invite from our family friend. This is a complete sentence. If I just write it separately, it will make sense. We got an invite from our family friend. And conjunction, we left our home again. And we left our home again. Another independent clause, right? So minus, plus, plus, it is a complex compound sentence, right? So I hope that you have got the structure of all these types of sentences, and now you can easily write these sentences as well. The thing that is needed is practice. So practice these sentences, find them in your storybooks, in your textbooks, and it would be great if you write some complex compound sentences in the comments box. What do you say? Okay, let's try it. And this is the end of our today's video. In the next video, inshallah, we shall see types of sentences in another way. So stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe it now, turn on your bell notifications. And if you have found this video useful, so please hit the like button as well. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye for now. And don't forget to make it a great day. Bye.